If I were to describe to you a boxing fight between a 27-year-old and a 50-year-old, who do you think would win that fight? I then would to give you more information about the two. The 27-year-old has a history of fighting retired MMA fighters, retired basketball players, and anything that wasn't a boxer and is retired, he wants to fight. He had one fight with a boxer around his age, and he struggled in that match and he eventually lost. I would then tell you that 50-year-old was seen last year with a stick, and by stick I mean a walking stick, I don't mean a gun. He has multiple surgeries due to his his old age I should say. He's clearly not the man he was in his prime when he was younger, and his last boxing fight was 19 years ago. Would that then sway your opinion? Maybe you might be thinking, no, that 27-year-old still got it. No matter what happens, that 27-year-old has got it still in the bag. I then would tell you that 50-year-old is Mike Tyson. Would that sway your opinion? Would you be like, oh no, Mike Tyson, I ain't Mike, you should have started with that, buddy. You should have told me that from the beginning. Mike Tyson still got this. Mike Tyson, 58 or not, it's still Mike Tyson. He's still got that haymaker on him, right? I mean, you could be right. He might still have that punching ability, but at the end of the day, boxing is a sport that you have to have good cardio. You have to have good legs. Of course, if your legs are old and you're no longer in your prime, and you haven't boxed in 19 years, what do you think is going to happen? Physically, you cannot keep up with what you used to be able to do. And that's just natural. When you hit a certain point in age, your body regresses. Your body's like, okay, let's take a few breaks. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna need some more water. I'm gonna need more food. Damn, my body really hurts. Damn, my arm is making that clicking noise. Ooh, my back. Damn, my knees. And come on, man. That was always gonna be the outcome. It was always gonna be Jake Paul wins. Whether it's gonna be a TKO, whether it's gonna be by points, whether it's gonna be by knockout. Jake Paul has a history of beating up old men. He is like the physical embodiment of the Grim Reaper, but for retired MMA fighters and boxers and basketballers. I didn't watch the fight. It was at 4 a.m. London time, and I was not gonna stay up for that. Hell, if the fight could have been at 10 p.m. London time, it could have been at 5 p.m. London time, I still wouldn't have watched it because the result was expected. And the funny thing is, when I saw it was announced on Netflix, I always knew it was going to be bad in terms of like broadcasting. I didn't think it was going to be this bad. I'm seeing people complain about buffering. I'm seeing images of the subtitles going on, but the picture is frozen, which that's hilarious. This match had Jake Paul win all over it as soon as it was announced. Because of everything that has happened previously. Jake Paul fights retired old man. Jake Paul wins. It doesn't matter if you're Mike Tyson. It doesn't matter if you're whoever Jake Paul has fought in the past. You're old. You've probably been thrown a bag. You don't care about your stats anymore, because at the end of the day, you're retired. It doesn't matter what you do after you're retired. Win or loss, Mike Tyson is coming out with a lot of money. Win or loss, Jake Paul is coming out with a lot of money. Win or loss, people who are watching this, who had eyes on this, are going to be thinking, oh, Jake Paul is still a dickhead. It doesn't matter. And at the end of the day, this doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for Mike Tyson's legacy. Like he said, legacy is a word people want to throw around every few seconds. It doesn't matter. As soon as you saw that interview, you should have known, okay, cool, Mike Tyson is not going to win this match. He doesn't look like he has that desire to win, like he had that desire when he was in his prime. Because of course, he is no longer a boxer. He's a podcaster. He's whatever he does other than this podcast. He is that. He is no longer Iron Mike Tyson. He has mellowed down. He has gone old. As life happens, you get old. This had Jake Paul win all over it. At the end of the day, I don't know why people had high hopes for this. And then people want to be talking about, oh, but Jake Paul got slapped by Mike Tyson. Bro, come on, man. This is a boxing fight, not a slapping competition. You're going to have to do a lot better than that in a ring, because cardio is always going to be a huge impact with boxing. You have to be able to move around and punch and dodge and do everything, yada yada yada. Whether those high hopes were, oh yeah, I just want to see Jake Paul get his head wrong or some shit like that. Come on, man. Jake Paul, he knows what he's doing. He knows the type of opponents he wants to fight. Old men. If he really was about that boxing life, he would have fought a boxer who regularly competes. And I know he's always like, oh yeah, Canelo. Bro, if you really wanted something to happen, you'd go and do that. But of course, Jake Paul is smart. He's like, yo, I don't want to get beaten up by someone who actually will beat me up. I don't want to fight someone who actually boxes regularly because I don't want to get hurt. And like, come on, he's in the perfect position where it's like, oh, I can throw the bag at an old man who isn't gonna take it serious, because at the end of the day, that old man doesn't care about his stats. That old man has finished fighting. I'm obviously gonna do that option. I'm not gonna fight someone young and get beaten up. Jake Paul knows he's a dickhead and will continue to do dickhead things. He knows people's perception of him, so he continues to go towards that because it still gives him money. But yeah, if you watch the fight, why did you do it to yourself? If you watch the highlights, why did you do that to yourself? But I honestly tried watching the highlights, and that was depressing. I'm glad I didn't stay up for that.